Yes, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman, Alfred.
I'm Batman.
I am Batman!
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Greetings, Bat Family. Welcome back to Holy BatCast, brought to you by Real Fans for Real Movies. Please visit our website, holybatcast.com. It's where you're going to find everything you need for Holy BatCast. Links, one-stop shopping, everything you need. You can also find us all over social media on all the websites where you spend your time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for Holy BatCast and you will find us. We are also on Patreon, so you go to patreon.com/holybatcast and help the show roll and also become a more permanent part of our Bat family. So huge thank you as always to all of our patrons. We could not do it without you. We love you. We love you lots. We're also part of the Real Fans Podcast Network, so if you're looking for other shows to sample, you can check those out at rf4rm.com. As always, I'm your host, Andy DiGenova, and when I'm not talking about Batman, you can follow me on Twitter or on Instagram. It's just my name, Andy DiGenova, ANDYDIGENOVA. Now, this week we're going to be talking about the latest and greatest news around the DC Universe. Most heavily around all of the information we just got about the DC Universe streaming service. But there are a couple other little interesting tidbits thrown in there as well, so you don't want to miss it. Joining me, I don't have my normal partner in crime. Jamie Drewley is again missing in action, so I've called in his permanent understudy. And that's our Bat brother from down under. It's Brendan Lowe. Hey, Brendan.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than Jamie, I reckon.
Yeah. It's sad. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but Jamie sells cars for a living, and he apparently overcharged some customers so much that he's in hiding. Because after the guy paid way too much, Jamie just couldn't let it go. And so he actually said, I want you to remember in all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
That's fair enough. I actually bought my kazoo because I thought I'd have to play Amazing Grace as we eulogized him, but if he's only hiding, that's okay.
I think he's only hiding. I mean, I can't be sure.
Fair enough.
So, we'll see, won't we?
Yeah. He might be hiding with, in the... I was going to say hiding in the closet surrounded by all the bat hangers.
Yeah, it could be. He could be hung from a bat hanger in a closet.
Yeah.
So, it's very sad. We're missing him again, but what can you do? You know?
Well,
the show must go on.
Thing.
It is, yeah. I think it takes 3 Brendans to make one Jamie, though.
Probably take a few more. He's a big dude.
So anyway, let's talk about what's going on out there.
Let's
do the tidbits, and then we'll get to the DC Universe streaming service. So first little tidbit came from our friends over there at Batman on Film, and apparently the Batman is starting to staff up. Some production staff are starting to be hired for the film. There's no further details. We don't know who these people are or what they're doing, but the fact that the production is staffing up is a very good sign.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
I must have missed this one. No, I didn't know about that.
That's all there is. There's no further detail other than that, but it's good news nonetheless. It means there's movement. There's life there. There's life in that body, unlike Jamie, who's dead.
It's hanging from the bat hangers. Look, it's progress, and that's what we want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So awesome. That's good news.
It's just good, any little tidbit to know that this thing is happening behind the scenes as we're waiting. That's great news.
Excellent.
So good to hear. Maybe in 3 weeks' time we'll have some more information.
Actually, 3 weeks. I need to be prepared for a really early morning.
I know. Break out the coffee.
Usually get up around 3-4 o'clock, I think it is, with the time difference.
That's impressive. If I were you, I would have probably just slept in and caught up when I woke up.
Yeah, that's the difference between you and me. Time zone.
I honor your commitment. I appreciate
and
it.
it's always on a Sunday morning too. So that's an added thing as well. I wake up at 3-4 o'clock on a Sunday morning. It's usually always really cold. I come out into the living room, rug up under a blanket, and pretty much follow along with your social media accounts to see what's going on.
In your little bat jammies?
I have a Batman onesie. I won't deny it.
Yeah, well, so do I. Of course I do. So yeah, 3 weeks
so
from.
Could we be the onesie twins?
Yes.
Instead of the Wonder Twins?
Oh,
Like onesie twins
right,
activate?
Right. Mm-hmm. Form of giant man-child.
Yes. Form of slightly less giant man-child.
So yeah, 3 weeks from this recording, we will have seen all there is to see around Comic-Con.
Exciting.
Very exciting. It's going to be here before we know it. So it is interesting to starting to get some of this news before Comic-Con, because I feel like things go very quiet in the weeks leading up to Comic-Con because they want to save everything. Understandably so.
Oh, yeah.
They did tell us, though, that we're going to get our first footage of Young Justice Outsiders at Comic-Con.
Well, that'll make Jamie Drewley happy. Oh, it's a shame he didn't live to see it, I guess.
I know it is. Well, hopefully wherever he is, he's watching it and he'll finally go, oh.
But will he still accept it? Because he kept saying trailer. This will be... If they said trailer, or is it just footage? Because if it's not a trailer, you know what he's going to say.
It could be either. I mean, they didn't... I think they said footage, but footage could be a trailer.
Yeah, hopefully.
So, yeah, big weeks coming up. Cannot wait. In the meantime, this is another little tidbit out there. So, as we know, The Flash does another project that seems to be alive and well, seems to be moving ahead. We know that the directors of Game Night, John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein, are developing the film. And someone asked them on Twitter, hey, we loved Game Night. When do I get to see your next movie? And John Francis Daley said, if all goes well, sometime in 2020.
Oh, I still haven't seen Game Night, actually.
It's great.
Yeah?
It's so much better than it should be.
I've got it to watch. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, I really think you'll like it.
Well, the only encouragement I really need is that it's the Flash directors. I think I keep forgetting that.
It is so funny that so many of us nerds like sought out Game Night because of that only. To be like, well, if these guys are doing the Flash, I'd better go watch Game Night. And fortunately, you'll enjoy it.
Dope. Back in the day when the director of that was attached to the Flash.
Yeah, when they announced the 12th director for the Flash, as to now we're on the 38th. But yeah, I did the same.
That's what we do.
Yeah, it's what we do. Like they announced what was his name, Rick Famuyiwa, and I'm sure that Netflix just saw this insane spike in people watching Dope. That day. And so, yeah, I'm sure the same is for Game Night, because I can't tell you how many fellow geeks have been like, yeah, I checked out Game Night because I want to see I want to see if these guys are up to it. The cool thing about Game Night, though, is that, I mean, it's extremely funny, but there are a lot of really cool stylistic touches that they added to what could have been a pretty run-of-the-mill comedy that made me go, okay, they're interested in elevating a movie like Game Night. I can only imagine what they're thinking for The Flash.
Awesome.
Yeah, there are some really interesting moments where you go, oh, wow, that's actually really cool for a comedy like Game Night. So I highly recommend it. It's pretty damn hilarious.
I haven't picked out my Sunday night movie to watch yet, so maybe it'll be Game Night.
Nice. I keep trying to talk Samantha into watching it, but it's just our viewing time is so limited, so we haven't gotten to it. I went and saw it alone in the theater because The Flash, and I'm like, Sam, you'd love this one, and so we're trying to make that happen.
Cool.
But so I mean, that's all it is he just said, if all goes well, sometime in 2020. But that does kind of line up with what we had been hearing. I think it was the last episode where we talked news, which was 2 episodes ago, in that, oh God, was it the Hollywood Reporter article, I think?
I think so.
Where they talked about, The Flash is meant to go into production next year, starring Ezra Miller. It's taking inspiration from Back to the Future. That all came out 2 weeks ago, and now John Francis Daley says sometime in 2020. Well, yeah, it makes sense. The movie goes into production next year in 2019. It'll be ready for release in 2020. Currently, Warner Brothers does have 2 release dates set in 2020 for DC films. They didn't say what they were, but one is for Valentine's Day of 2020, and the other one is for June 5th of 2020. So my guess would be that June date could be The Flash.
Yeah, you would think potentially, again going by what we've heard, if you're going to go Valentine's Day, you would almost think that would be a Harley Quinn project, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Birds of Prey probably.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing that Valentine's Day.
I know. So it's cool that he addressed it. You know, it'd be really easy not to say anything, but he said, "Fall goes well 2020," which is great.
Awesome.
Gives me a reason to stay alive. That's all I need.
Yeah.
As we know, Wonder Woman 1984 is deep in production at this point, so there have been quite a few set photos, set videos, things like that have started to make their way out there. We know that they will be in attendance at Comic-Con. We don't know in what capacity. We don't know what they're bringing. If I was a betting man, my money would be the reveal of Cheetah.
Yeah.
That to me seems
you
like...
would think so.
That seems like the big reveal you would bring to Comic-Con to get people talking. Mm-hmm. Because it's probably the biggest question mark around the movie at this point.
Yeah.
But we didn't have to wait for Comic-Con for the reveal of Cheetah's civilian alter ego, Barbara Minerva.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is it was Kristin Wiig's first day on set, her first day of shooting on the film, and so Patty Jenkins tweeted out a photo of Barbara Minerva, Kristin Wiig.
Yeah.
And it just says, "Enter Barbara Minerva, #WW84. And so we've got Kristin Wiig looking a little frumpy, looking a little messy.
Looking a little 80s.
Looking a little 80s in the midst of this museum of all these stuffed animals, but not like stuffed animals you give your kid, like, you know.
No.
Like taxidermy animals.
Yeah.
It would have been a great picture if it had been her just standing in a Toys R Us surrounded by stuffed animals, but this is a different kind.
They're extinct as well, so.
Yeah, that's true. That could have only been in 1984. But yeah.
It is what it is. It doesn't show very much. I have to say overall...
The fact that they put the Greater Kudu in the foreground means that not only will Barbara Minerva transform into the cheetah, but she can also harness the powers of hooved animals.
Oh, okay.
Duh.
Well, that's... Okay, that's... Well...
You didn't get that from this?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and then the giraffe in the back means that in this one, we're going to meet Hades, who has an army of killer giraffes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's a lot in this. A lot to unpack.
Wow, you must have better eyesight than I do.
No, I just full of shit. One of the two.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I'm actually genuinely surprised, but happy with this film because it's only been in production 3 weeks, roughly. Like, we've had a lot of stuff come out of it. I mean, they've shown us a lot of stuff that, to be fair, they wouldn't have had to show us, but we also still know nothing. You know, aside from what was in the press release. It's, you know, the sequel, it's set in the 80s and we've now got a title. But yeah, every week, the last 3 weeks, there's been something else, and it's exciting. Like, it's obviously they can't keep it up through the whole production. But yeah, as a fan and someone who's really looking forward to this movie coming out, yeah, I'm bloody stoked.
It's nice to get just these little things, because you're right, they're not super revealing, they're not spoilery, but it reminds us that this is going on out there. It gives us a little something to get excited about. It keeps us in the loop. It's just a great little gimme for the fans. And I love that Patty Jenkins is great about embracing the fans. She's obviously walking on air after the success of Wonder Woman, and I think she feels really emboldened and just in a perfect spot when it comes to the sequel, where she's, you know, it's her show, and I love that she's sharing that excitement with us in whatever way she can.
Yeah, both her and Gal were both very and are both very fan friendly, I guess,
Yes.
for lack of a better term. Like they really show us fans a lot of love and respect. They don't have to, but they do. And again, I'm not complaining about it. It's great, and it makes you, I don't know, not more involved, but it makes you feel kind of, I don't know, special is probably not the right term. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of
it makes us feel like part of the family.
Thank you.
Right, exactly. It makes us feel appreciated. We all just want to feel appreciated, right?
Exactly.
It's just a human thing, and I appreciate it. So, no, I agree. It's great. It's a little something, not super revealing, but it's fun. And especially because Kristin Wiig is, like I said, one of the biggest question marks around the film. It was one of the unexpected castings where everyone went, huh, okay.
Yeah.
And I was all for it. Again, I don't really... I tend to roll with most of these castings. I can't think of one that I was totally incensed about in my, at least in my adult life. I can't think of a single one where I went, what? So
yeah.
I roll with it. But I know that, Kristin Wiig was something that surprised a lot of people. And it's great to see her out there. And I can't wait to see her cheetah form. Barbara Minerva is great, don't get me wrong. But I want to see her badass cheetah.
Just something I am going to throw out there too, because this thing, it comes out in November next year, doesn't it?
Correct.
I'm probably going to be in LA November next year.
Really?
Just putting it out there. So
you don't
it
say.
might not be for the opening, but we might be able to organise a bit of a cross-continental BatCast.
Ooh, I could take you to see it at the Chinese theater.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because next year, like sort of November-ish, Jess and I are looking at doing Hawaii, and then because we're so close, I'm like, I have to come to LA and see these guys. Like, we hadn't quite met last time I was there in 2014. So, yeah, and then it hit me the other day. I read it, November 2019. I'm like, wait a minute. November, eh? So that could be something happening there.
I just realized November 1st. Man. It'll help me get over my post-Halloween blues next year.
Yeah. Yeah, because you do what I do after Christmas every year, kind of like, oh.
I have that after Halloween, and then once Thanksgiving rolls around, I get better through Christmas, and then I have it again at Christmas, when Christmas is over.
Yeah.
So, I have my post-holiday malaise, and so the first couple days of November are a time of deep sadness for Andy DiGenova, and now I can be like, oh, Halloween might be over, but now I have a Wonder Woman movie in theaters.
Yeah, and Brendan's coming over, don't forget.
But mostly I have a Wonder Woman movie in theaters.
Yeah, exactly.
That I get to take Brendan, too.
Right.
And the wives can just be like, what the hell did we do?
They will come and they will sit there and they will shut up and they will enjoy themselves.
That's true. It's true.
Yes.
It's free. Eat your popcorn and enjoy.
Because I don't know what you're like with Sam, but, I run a tight ship with my wife.
Oh, do you?
And I say as she walks into the room and flips me the bird.
Me too. I definitely run a tight ship with Samantha. I definitely tell her what's what. I'm the king of my castle. Shh. Oh, God. Okay. So exciting little glimpse here again at Wonder Woman 1984. The other one I'm excited to see is it Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
Is it Pedro Pascal?
I'm not sure.
Oh God. It is. Okay. I was questioning myself because I love him. He was in Kingsman 2. He was in Game of Thrones. He's like my favorite character on Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And so, he was cast in some big role. We don't know what it is yet. So I'm excited to learn more about that. There were murmurs. I did see speculation that maybe he was Hades, which I would be all about.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have to tie this back into the Greek mythology as well. I think it kind of makes Wonder Woman stand out a little bit differently from other superheroes as well. So if they can keep doing that, then it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, and if Pedro Pascal, who I love, is playing Hades, a character I love, I mean, just knock me over with a feather. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
That is just speculation. I don't think there's any...
Like the Hercules version. Imagine if they did that.
Oh, that would be amazing. Give him the blue flaming hair.
Yeah. He'd have a blue flaming mustache, though.
That's fine. I'm not complaining. But, yeah, we'll see. More as it develops, but They continue shooting Wonder Woman 1984. Again, there have been some set videos and set pics. I haven't paid a lot of attention because I try to not. I don't want to know that stuff because
the official stuff.
Yeah, it hasn't been released, but I mean, I just can't help seeing little bits of it here and there because of the internet. But
like sometimes it'll show up in my feed and I might see it scrolling, but I won't seek it out.
That's exactly it. I just keep scrolling. I don't stop and pay any attention to it.
I saw the other day a set pic. It looked like Gal wasn't on in front of the camera. It was just sort of behind the scenes. But oh man, she looked amazing. She looks so good.
Mm-hmm. Exciting, very exciting. So, fortunately, we don't have to wait that long for a lot more other DC content because this week,
you don't have to wait that long.
Oh, that's true. A couple days ago, we did get the official launch information for DC Universe. So we got a little teaser the day before that was like, oh, big things are coming tomorrow. And we're like, oh, damn. And again, for me, I was like, we're only 3.5 weeks away from Comic-Con. Why would they do it now? This seems like the perfect thing to share at Comic-Con. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a lowly podcaster in California. Don't listen to me. But yeah, they released a little trailer. And then a press release all about the launch of DC Universe. So let me share with you what they said here. It says DC Universe is a first of its kind digital subscription service that gives fans access to exclusive content and experiences not available anywhere else. With membership, fans will enjoy all new original live action and animated series, classic TV series and films, a curated selection of digital comic books, breaking news, an expansive DC-centric encyclopedia, and access to exclusive merchandise. Additional fan features include opportunities to connect with others in the DC community, earn premium rewards, and participate in sweepstakes and contests. There's a lot more here, quotes from people. Oh, it's going to be so terrific. I'm not going to read all. I don't need to read all those. But the beta version will launch in August of 2018, so you can sign up today to test the beta, and then it'll go live later this fall, 2018 is what it says. Later this fall. Then it gives a little more information about, all those different buckets that we talked about. So original live action and animated series. So that talks about Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol, which aren't scheduled to debut until next year. Titans, which will premiere with the service this year. And then the animated Harley Quinn and the third season of Young Justice. This is both scheduled to debut in 2019. So I guess it's going to launch just with Titans, and I've got to wait for everything else.
It's enough.
That's not enough. I want more. I want the world. I want the whole world. Okay, what?
I love that movie. You mentioned Doom Patrol. There was also some casting rumors for that earlier this week.
Oh, God,
Kelsey Grammer. Yeah.
There was. Good call. That was another one I almost missed. Yeah. But it was just a rumor. There was nothing confirmed, right?
Yeah. Just a rumor.
That Kelsey Grammer might be Professor X of the Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
whose name I don't remember.
Because it's
Niles Calder? Is this it? Dr. Calder?
So. Yeah, it rings a bell.
Yeah, great. But we got... Sorry. X-Men might have been the ripoff, but it was the more successful ripoff. Yeah, that's what I know. Okay, so we did get some synopses of these shows, though, as well as 2 more official photos of Robin from Titans.
Yep.
So is this the time? Is this the time to discuss these? We got a full body shot of Robin, so we got to see the entire costume. Prior to this, it was kind of just from like his midsection up. So we just
like a really shadowy profile photo.
Yeah. But now we got the entire costume of him looking like he's on a rooftop with the moon in the background, full on Robin costume. And then there was another one that was in the little teaser trailer of him kind of looking bruised and bloodied. And again, it was more of just a half shot. We didn't get the whole body shot in that. But so yeah, thoughts on our more expanded look at Brendan Thwaites as Robin?
For the people who don't know, on my podcast, we end every episode with a segment called the Fatmobile, where we talk about sort of the one thing that, the past, however much time has passed since our last recording.
6 months.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah. That's had us the most excited. This definitely fits into that category for me, and I'm if it does for me, I can only imagine what it does for you. I'm surprised you can stand up.
Who says I am?
You just wearing a trench coat everywhere. He looks man, he's so good. Like, he's Robin. Like, I've had it as my phone background since it was released, since the morning I woke up and saw it. I mean, like, and I know what Brendan Thwaites looks like. Like, he's an Aussie. I saw him on TV for years before he cracked it overseas and everything. This doesn't look like him at all. Like, I don't see that actor. I see Dick Grayson. I see Robin. He looks so good. He looks so good. I'm trying so hard not to swear because I know it's your show, but man, he looks good. It's Robin. I mean, what else can you say?
I don't know, other than it's amazing. I love it. Yeah. I mean, the first photo we got, I was already like, holy crap, that is a Robin costume. That is fantastic. And
each photo, he looks different. Like, he looks completely different in every photo, I think, anyway.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. I thought the same thing as, I've seen him in a couple of things, most notably Pirates, and so this does not look like the same guy. He looks like Dick Grayson. It's amazing. He looks like Robin. The costume, I think, is perfect. I think it's the perfect translation from the page into the real world without losing what makes it Robin. It's terrific. I think they nailed it. You still got the red, gold, and green, much like a Karma Chameleon. Red, gold, and green.
Oh God!
with the pants, with the yellow cape, and I think he looks amazing. Like, as someone who has been banging the drum for a return of a live action Robin, sorry, John Blake doesn't count. It's about freaking time. I want it on the big screen, but if I got to get it this way, then so be it. I'll take it.
He is missing the earring though, I thought. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. So am I going to sign off the episode, or?
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
I just can't wait to see how this guy does laundry is the important thing.
It's going to be great.
That's the test of a true Robin. How do you do your clothes? Okay. No, he looks amazing. So yeah, I mean, here's the great thing though, is of course I want it in a movie. Yes. Robin deserves his due in a damn movie. We're not getting that, at least anytime soon, it doesn't seem. But for a original show on a streaming service, you kind of manage your expectations. Mm-hmm. Like you realize, okay, it's not even a show on a network, it's on a streaming service, and I'll take it, and I can't wait to see it, but I understand the context and the budget we're talking about, and so it's probably not going to be what I would be getting in a $200 million movie. And then I see this.
This is also a launch show too. Like, it's not like it's a Netflix series where they have all the monies.
Right.
This is something brand new. Like, if it was Netflix, you go, oh yeah, cool. Like, this will probably be cinema quality. But this is unknown territory.
Exactly. So I had managed my expectations, and then to get this, and I'm like, no, that is a Robin that could be on the big screen, and I wouldn't blink. Like, he doesn't look like the low-budget streaming version of Robin. He just looks like how Robin should. He looks amazing. And so I love that about it. I saw a little bit of like, oh, why is it so dark? That kind of thing. It's like, I don't know. Who cares? Oh, let me see the show. Looks great to me. So yeah, he looks amazing. The mask looks great. I love it's very much inspired by the Tim Drake suit, which for me, best Robin suit ever. He even has the split toe the way the Tim Drake suit used to. So that is a great detail, which I think is so awesome. And And I did hear someone go like, why is Dick wearing the Tim Drake costume? I feel like I've addressed this in the past, but I hear you and I understand, but in comics and in animation, they have retconned Tim Drake's original costume Dick Grayson's original costume to look more like Tim Drake's. So this is not unheard of. It's not unprecedented, because if you go back to the original Dick Grayson costume, it's the short shorts and the booties, which were great in their time, but in current comics, whenever they do flashbacks, Dick Grayson is wearing more of this style of costume. So I think that everyone agreed that the Tim Drake costume was so good that they retconned it into one of Dick's costumes too. That's not unheard of. We've seen that in multiple media now. So that doesn't really give me pause.
I don't even think about it. Like it's the Robin costume.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Robin costume, and it looks amazing. So, yep, I love this. It is definitely my Fatmobile. So I'm very excited about it. It looks so good. So I still want the official shots of the rest of the Titans. Come on, let's go. But if I can only get one, I'm happy with Robin.
Look, I'll be honest. After seeing these photos, I don't even care about the rest of them. I'm sorry for the fans of those characters. Just give me a Robin show. I just want to watch this guy kick ass for a couple hours. I'll be done. I'm so happy.
Honestly, if this was a still for a Robin TV series, I would be over the moon. Everyone else is just bonus,
gravy. Yeah. Actually, you mentioned that he deserves to be in a movie. Like, I'm sure you've seen the Photoshop jobs going around the last couple of days too.
It's my current cover photo. Are you kidding?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. People have pasted this with the Ben Affleck Batman, and it looks perfect right alongside Ben Affleck's Batman. And so, yes, it is my cover photo, because I'm like, I know this ain't gonna happen, but a geek can dream.
It's so good. So freaking good.
When I close my eyes at night, that's what I see.
Oh man, yeah. I got nothing. It just looks so good.
Looks amazing. So I look forward to seeing everyone else. But as far as Robin is concerned, and as someone who loves Robin and wants to see Robin done legit, this is hitting all those buttons for me. I love it.
Even the hair, like his hair looks awesome.
Yeah,
like everything is on point.
Yeah, I agree. It looks amazing.
I can't believe I just said on point. Anyway,
it's okay. But here's the synopsis of Titans in this press release. It says, Titans follows young heroes from across the DC universe as they come of age and find belonging in a gritty take on the classic Teen Titans franchise. Dick Grayson and Rachel Roth, a special young girl possessed by a strange darkness, get embroiled in a conspiracy that could bring hell on Earth. Joining them along the way are the hot-headed Starfire and lovable Beast Boy. Together they become a surrogate family and team of heroes.
Sign me up.
So, could bring hell on Earth. That sounds like we're going the Raven Trigon route.
Which is, I have no problem with that.
No, that makes a lot of sense for Titans. There were some other rumors that came out about the show. I don't know if you saw this.
Maybe. That
it is indeed very dark and adult focused.
I did see a headline. Yes.
Yeah, and there was actually a lot of information in there that I would consider spoilery, so I'm not... Most of the major sites didn't run with it, so I don't know how legit it is, but I saw enough of it.
That's maybe why I didn't click on it, actually.
Yeah, I saw enough of it, but yeah, like a lot of the big sites didn't even run with it, so I don't know what that means. But I think it's pretty spoilery because it talks a lot about Robin's arc and where Robin is in his life and things like that. So I'd rather not go into it here because I don't want it. If it's true, I don't want to spoil people.
Potentially spoil,
yeah. I think people should see that in the show. It's like, oh well, what's Robin's relationship with Batman, and what's Robin doing, and what's Dick Grayson doing right now? Like, isn't that the fun of watching the show? So there is some of that out there. Some of it sounds very interesting to me. The fact that it is a very adult focus is a little unexpected, considering Titans and Teen Titans tend to be, for younger audiences. So that will be interesting to see. And again, like, it'll be interesting to see how true it is. Because apparently it says, like, there's F-bombs in it.
Huh.
Allegedly.
Oh, me, right?
So, yeah. So, we'll see. It's for me. It's as always a wait and see type thing.
Could it be potentially? Do you think maybe it's a response to like the Netflix Marvel, like because they've had success? I don't know.
Perhaps, yeah. I mean, that's very possible. But hey,
and being a streaming service, they can do what they want.
At least these guys get costumes. Am I right?
You are right.
But yeah, so it'll be interesting.
That costume yet? My God.
I know. Let me just scroll back up for a second.
It's like, there it is.
I'll be in my bunk. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to see more. I love though that this is at launch because of everything on the docket. This is of course my top priority. It's number one. And then Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol has not started production, so again, that's why we're just starting to get murmurs of casting. But Doom Patrol, it says, is a reimagining of one of DC's strangest group of outcasts. Robot Man, Negative Man, Elasta-Woman, and Crazy Jane. Led by the mysterious Dr. Niles Calder, they're called into action by the ultimate hero for the digital age, Cyborg. Banding together, these rejects find themselves on a mission that will take them to the weirdest and most unexpected corners of the DC universe.
I mean, honestly, the only thing that has me semi-intrigued is Cyborg, and I'm not even a big Cyborg fan.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see
It's an obscure property, but hey, I'm going to watch it.
Right, the TV version of Cyborg. It'll be interesting. I think that's cool, which means that I can definitely see crossover of Cyborg visiting the Titans.
Yes.
And if he does, then we have like all the core Titans accounted for. Which is really kind of nerdily exciting too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I think that, Jamie and I talked about this in the past. Doom Patrol is not something I know very well. I've seen them pop in and out over the years in comics I've read, but I'm not super familiar with them, but it's exciting nonetheless, and I think that they will be introduced in one of the Titans episodes.
See, I always think of the Metal Men.
Yeah.
Is who I think of. And I know that's not who Doom Patrol is, but that's who my mind instantly goes to them. And their characters I don't know that well either.
Right. No, that makes sense. So that is interesting and exciting. I like that it's Elasta-Woman. Because if Elastigirl gets weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, Swampthing. It says Swampthing follows Abby Arcane as she investigates what seems to be a deadly swamp-borne virus in a small town in Louisiana, but soon discovers that the swamp holds mystical and terrifying secrets. When unexplainable and chilling horrors emerge from the murky marsh, no one is safe.
Again, I'll watch it.
Cool.
If
yeah, this is pretty generic. It's it's like, okay, it's in Louisiana. Abby Arcane will, of course, be a part of it. Again, I'm not a Swamp Thing expert, but the Arcanes are always part of it when I have dipped in, so it's not a huge shock. Great. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm in. And you're happy with the whole horror element too.
Oh yeah, I love that. I think it'll be
James
really cool.
Wan being involved.
Young Justice Outsiders features the return of the fan-favorite animated series with a huge cast of DC's most iconic young superheroes, plus brand new characters, many of whom are just discovering their unique meta-powers and special abilities. Set against the backdrop of a rich, deep world that touches all corners of the DC universe, this season focuses on meta-trafficking and an intergalactic arms race for control of these super-powered youths. Cool. Sounds like Young Justice to me.
Sounds like something that actually exists.
Yeah. Sounds like something we're going to actually get to watch.
Yeah.
If we're, as long as we're alive.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just so excited about the return of Young Justice. It's one of those like dream come true. Never thought it would happen. And it's amazing that it is. And then here we go, Harley Quinn. It says Harley Quinn follows Harley's adventures after she breaks up with the Joker and strikes out on her own in this new adult animated comedy. With the help of Poison Ivy and a ragtag crew of DC cast-offs, Harley tries to earn a seat at the biggest table in villainy, the Legion of Doom.
Oh.
Interesting.
I'm all in on this one. I love my DC animated stuff, and I love Harley Quinn, so I'm there.
I agree. Interesting that it says adult again.
Yeah, I think we kind of knew that though.
I'm not I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Makes sense, I guess.
Right. it will be interesting to see if they get Margot to do the voice.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, it'd be so good.
Yeah. So, and I love that Poison Ivy sounds like she's playing a role as well. She should. This will be super fun. So anyway, here's what else you might get to see on the streaming service that you might already have on your shelf, but now it'll all be in one convenient place for you. And when I say you, I don't mean you, Brendan. I mean us Americans.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll come back to that. Keep going.
We'll get there. Anyway, here's what it says. It says, at launch, available at launch, all 4 original Superman movies, as well as a selection of epic animated movies, including Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox, Green Lantern First Flight, and Wonder Woman. The service will also feature classic TV shows, including the first 2 seasons of Batman the Animated Series and the original Wonder Woman series, available for the first time in HD.
I also saw in some of the artwork, Lois and Clark was there, and a few other, like, Super Friends and a lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. That's exciting. I can't wait to just see how wide a selection that they offer at launch, but that's great. Batman the Animated Series in HD, super exciting.
Yep. If you can get it.
Yeah. And then Wonder Woman in HD. It's funny because I had actually been like toying with purchasing Wonder Woman on iTunes, but now I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just wait and watch it here.
I last year in the lead up to the movie coming out, I purchased season 1 because I still worked at the movie store at the time, and it was quite cheap. And I watched the handful of episodes. It wasn't something I was going to sit down and binge. It's fun. It's very much on its time, but it's fun.
It is. I enjoy it, but yeah, it's been a while since I've sat down to watch it.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's great that it's going to be in HD. I love that Batman the Animated Series, at least the first 2 seasons will be there. That's great. I know that when they first announced this, you start thinking about all the things that are DC, and you start realizing how much content there really is. When you start thinking about animated series, television series,
yep,
animated movies, and that list just grows and grows. And so there's a lot to choose from, and they're giving us a sampling of what'll be there at launch, but it'll be interesting to see what else. Because like in the trailer, there was footage of Batman Returns, there was footage of Batman Forever. There was, so like, do we take that as, oh, those will be there too? Maybe, probably, if they're going to...
If they're going to have the original Superman movies, you would think they would have the original Batman movies.
As long as Catwoman's on there, then I'm good.
Well, I was going to say Steel. I'm looking forward to being able to stream that in HD.
Steel, yes. Dreams come true. We could do a Catwoman, Steel, Jonah Hex triple feature.
Yes.
And then just kill ourselves.
I remember nothing about that movie. I saw it once like 20 years ago.
Steel?
But I just remember there was one line that one character said that was, will dip me in shit and roll me in breadcrumbs. And for some reason, I don't know why, that line has always stuck in my mind. I do not know why.
I don't remember that line. I have seen the movie.
Yeah.
And relatively recently, like within the past, I don't know, 6 years maybe,
wow.
Relatively recently, somehow I watched it, and I don't know if it's because it popped up on a streaming service or something, but it was one of those where I was like, you know what, I never saw? Steel. I'm curious, and I watched it, and it's something.
It doesn't hold up?
Yeah, shockingly, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Like, I would think that it would have a timeless quality about it starring Shaq, but no, unfortunately.
Well, you say that. Isn't Shaquille O'Neal in a new movie now?
Is he?
That basketball movie that's coming out over there?
Oh, yes, he is. You're
20
right.
20 years on, man. He's still on the big screen.
What is it? Cousin Drew or something?
Something like that.
Uncle
yeah.
Drew? Something like that. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what all pops up there. But it's exciting. So, but you don't just watch stuff on DC Universe, you get to read stuff. So
yes, this is what we were all waiting to see.
Yeah, so for years now, Marvel's had their Marvel Unlimited app, and people are huge fans of that. I don't have it just because I have a hard enough time finding time for the comics I do have. But everybody wanted a DC version of it, and I think it was kind of smart to fold it into this. But it will be curated. It will be a selection. It won't be everything, because everything is an insane amount of stuff. But here's what it says about that. It says the DC Universe Comics Reader will include native untethered access across devices from a smartphone or tablet to a living room screen rendered in vivid detail. Fans can scroll through some of their favorite comics from the comfort of their couch with family and their friends to see this vibrant art form come to life like never before. Yeah, I'm going to be like, hey, everybody, gather around. We're going to read a comic on the TV.
Is that kind of like an old-fashioned slide night?
Maybe. So, like, weird. A curated selection of thousands of DC comics will be available to DC Universe members from a library that includes decades of comics creations. And they go into a lot more detail here. They give some examples of what will be there. The introduction of Superman and Batman, Jeff Johns and Jim Lee's Justice League, Swamp Thing by Scott Snyder, Harley Quinn. It says rotating selections will cater to both members new to comics and passionate fans looking for hard-to-find titles. Comics can be downloaded for reading offline on a tablet. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Jamie won't be able to use it.
I know. And I apologize if you guys hear, like, power tools in the background. Our neighbors are doing construction of some sort.
I was because I wasn't sure if that was you or me, because we've got neighbors moving in, like out in our back unit today. So I was like, I might be them doing stuff.
Yeah, it's us. We've been hearing it all day. But anyway, so this is exciting. Lots of opportunities to catch up on.
This might be the push to get Julie across to the digital comic world.
Oh, maybe this will do it.
You never know.
Anyway, it says connect. You can connect with other nerds. Great. I do enough of that already. Explore and win.
That's just called the internet.
I know, right? Explore and win. DC Encyclopedia. That's kind of fun. And contests, and then an exclusive shop. What does it say? Anything great? Members will have exclusive access to all new 6-inch Justice League animated action figures based on the animated series starting the fall of 2018. So I wonder if you know
them? They look so good.
I have seen them. Yeah, it's like the Batman the animated series figures that are so great. It's like the Justice League versions of those.
They look so good. Love them.
Yeah. So
I'll
great,
probably never
because
get
that's what I need. That's what I need, is to be able to buy more crap. But anyway, that's that. There's a lot more. There's a lot more little details here and there. You can obviously go to dcuniverse.com and check it out, or go to your geek site of choice, and I'm sure that they've got the press release there. But it's exciting stuff. Just a plethora of DC goodness. I have not signed up for the beta. I probably should try. I just haven't had time. But regardless, this is a day one subscription for me, and I can't freaking wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. I would just like to know how long I have to wait. I tried to sign up to the beta instantly, as did a lot of people on the internet I'm seeing, and not available. Only available to people in the United States, which I was half expecting, but also pisses me off. But I hope that it's only for the beta. That is the case, because I'm sure I've spoken about it on the Nightlight. I think I've spoken about it on Holy BatCast before. If this thing isn't made available worldwide when it's released, there's going to be some backlash.
Oh, I'm already seeing it, and not just from you.
Yeah, people like, it's not the DC universe, it's the DC United States of America.
It is a very American thing to only care about ourselves.
Yeah, I will make no secret about the fact that if this isn't available, I have my money. I'm willing to pay for this. I'm willing to pay for this now. I would start paying a monthly subscription now if it doesn't launch for another 2 months. I don't care. I want to be able to access this stuff. I want to be able to do it legally. But I'm telling you, if it's not available over here when it launches, I will be doing whatever I have to do to get my hands on Titans and watch it, because I will make no secret about it. I will pirate the crap out of the stuff they put on that service until they make it available, because I want to pay for it. Have my money. It's sitting in my account ready to go. You can take it now.
You can send it to me.
I'll
just send you like photo grabs of everything. How about that?
And I'll make a flip book and actually watch it.
It's perfect.
Well, I mean, you do a hell of a Dick Grayson voice. I know that. So.
Oh, thank you. I can Skype you in and we can watch Titans together.
Yeah, like it would be a huge mistake if when this launch, not the beta, when this launches properly, if it's only available to North America. Like, that would just be a stupid move, because they have fans around the world all desperate to get their hands on this stuff. And yeah, if you can make it, a legal way for us to get it when it's launched, we will keep doing that. I'm sure there is a lot of people out there who will have the attitude of, well, F them. If they're not going to make it available to me, I will pirate it. And even if it does become available, they might continue to do so. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just, please make it available to everyone when it launches officially, because it'd be a real kick in the guts to the fans, that don't live in America, to not be able to access what seems like an awesome service with awesome content. Yeah.
I'm with you. If there's anything I can do, you let me know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not the only one I've seen like that. There are DC fans all over the world who should have access to this. And to your point, like, do you hate money? Because all you're doing is leaving it on the table if you're only making this accessible to the USA.
And you're leaving yourself open for piracy and stuff like that. Like, if you think people aren't going to do it, you're delusional.
Right. Of course, if you can't get it officially, what other choice do you have? Like,
yep.
You want to watch Titans, damn it, and I don't blame you. And if they're not going to let you watch Titans legally and take your money to watch it, well, then what else are you going to do?
Exactly. And in the world of this, then that's the thing. Like, it's not the 90s anymore. Like, it was commonplace.
Right.
It is. It was commonplace back in the day. Like, we'd be a season or two behind on some shows here in Australia, but we had no idea. Like, we didn't know what was happening in the States. We didn't know what you guys are up to. Like, things get spoiled. It takes one person to tweet something or put a status or, within hours of a show going up that could spoil the whole series. And that's if that's if you've got access to it at the same time as the rest of the world. If you're not going to get it for months after it's released, it gets to the point where it's like, well, I know what happens. What's the point in watching it?
Right.
Yeah, you're only hurting yourself.
I'm with you, man. I hope they have a plan, because it does seem like a really a huge missed opportunity otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, that's, yeah, enough negativity. Starting to sound like Jamie.
I know, we don't need that. All right. So, no, it's exciting. There's a lot of... It's funny, because when this first came out, I was a little disappointed with the announcement, because I was like, oh, I thought we would get a trailer for Titans, or we would get something a little more concrete. I thought we would get a price point. I thought we would get a launch date, and we didn't get any of that. And so I was a little disappointed when when this is what it was. I was like, oh, come on! I at least wanted all the Titans. Yeah. I wanted to see what they looked like. It was a bit more
in-depth, information of what we already knew.
Exactly. Most of this was assumed, or at least previously rumored. Yeah. So a lot of it isn't surprising. There's a little more information and a little more context for all of it, which is great. And as we've gone over it together, there is a lot more information in here than at first glance I realized. But yeah, I thought there was going to be like, oh, it launches on August 11th. And it's going to cost $9.99 a month, and here's a trailer for Titans or whatever. And maybe that is the stuff they're saving for Comic-Con. This is the, the first pass of like, hey, look at all this stuff that's coming, and stay tuned, more to come.
Yeah. We're staying tuned.
We are. I can't wait to hear more. I want to know when I'm going to be able to watch this stuff. But I think August 11th would be a perfect date for it.
Is that your birthday?
It is, yes.
Ah, what are the odds?
I know, crazy. And this year is going to be particularly painful, because this year is the big 4-0.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, there you go. And there's no
so-
DC movie for you to go and see in theaters on your
I
birthday either.
know, but fortunately, there's the Meg, which is going to have to
Okay.
do. If I can't get Batman, I'll take a giant shark. Why not?
Fair enough. Batman riding a giant shark would be even better.
No shit. Or a whole army of Atlanteans riding giant sharks for Christmas.
Yes, exactly.
Bring me that. Hopefully, I will see that in 3 weeks
Yes.
in the trailer.
Can't wait. Love Comic-Con time.
People love sharks. Don't you people realize this? People love sharks. Pirates 5, you know what everyone talked about? Sharks.
I didn't even hear people talk about Pirates 5.
Well, that was like the big hook.
Okay.
And it was not fully taken advantage of. But there was a reason they were on every poster. People love sharks.
Man, I
So-
live in Australia. We see them swimming down the street.
You guys are like, oh, for you it's like
Another
a
one.
squirrel. They're
You know,
just everywhere.
I open my front door, I kick a couple out the way. It's like, oh, get out, would you piss off?
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, there you go. DC Universe, more as it develops. Of course, we will be covering it all. I can't wait to review Titans when we finally get to see it. And it'll also be interesting to see if they just drop all the episodes at once, like a Netflix, so you can just binge them. My guess is that will be the case.
You would think so.
Yeah. Anyway, while we wait, we continue to watch whatever Batman content we've got on our shelves, and so we're continuing our journey through Batman the Animated Series. We are in Season 4 when it was rebranded The New Batman Adventures. So last time we talked about what? We talked about Sins of the Father.
Yes.
And then we're jumping over Cold Comfort, because as I said, we just reviewed that on the Mr. Freeze saga, so if you want to hear us talk about Cold Comfort, go check that out. So we're jumping forward in the new Batman Adventures, and now we are going to review episode number 4, Double Talk.
Can I just call out before you move on to, I just don't want it to go unnoticed, that segue that you just did between talking about the streaming service to this episode review, mate, that was seamless.
Oh, thank you.
That was fantastic.
That's why I get paid so much. That's why I'm so
those
rich.
podcast dollars.
Oh man, fat podcast money. All right, Double Talk. The return of the ventriloquist and Scarface. And so here we go. Arnold Wesker, the ventriloquist. He is in Arkham. He's being released from Arkham because he's okay. It's all good. Even Bruce Wayne gives him a job at Wayne Enterprises because Bruce is just so nice like that. And as soon as he gets this job, he starts being haunted by Scarface. Of course he is. He's getting notes, he's getting phone calls, he's seeing him places. He runs into some of Scarface's old goons, and they're like, when's the boss coming back? And Ventriloquist is like, he's not coming back, I'm cured. But he keeps coming back, and Batman is keeping an eye on all of this, to the point where even Scarface, like, Batman chases Scarface down the street, and Scarface is not being controlled by the Ventriloquist. What's going on? We find out that those goons, and they had fun names, and I can't remember what they were. Like,
Wasn't one of them like Muggsy or something? Like,
yeah, Muggsy, and oh man, the other one had like the big dude had another name. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, these guys, it turns out they needed the boss back, so they were trying to spark the return of Scarface in the ventriloquist by making these things happen, and it worked. Scarface comes back, takes back over, and it is up to Batman and Batgirl to stop him. So, Double Talk, Brendan, what did you think?
This, like a lot of the new Batman Adventures episodes, it started, and I knew straight away it was a Scarface episode. It started, and I'm kind of like, I'm not sure if I remember this one, but as it went on, things became familiar. I really actually was glad that I didn't remember it thoroughly because I was hooked by the mystery as to what was going on. I couldn't remember. And then I was kind of, I couldn't remember if it was going to, when he was released and said he was cured, I thought it was going to go a different path, but then I was confusing it with an issue of the Batman Adventures comics, where he goes into child entertainment as a ventriloquist. I really enjoyed this episode. The mystery was fantastic. I really like Scarface as a villain, or Scarface and the ventriloquist. It's a really simple but really effective and clever idea, like flipping the whole puppet and master role. I mean, I guess the split personality thing, you could compare it to, say, like a Two-Face, but it's just a different way of doing it. He's a character I've always liked in the comics. I've always liked the animated episodes that feature the character. I don't think it's really a character you could do in a movie. I don't think it would work that well in live action or at all. But in this medium, it works really well. And yeah, this episode, it had me guessing from start to finish. And when you got the reveal, I actually thought for a moment it might have been his, like the landlord or whoever, the lady, which I think they might have done intentionally to make you think that, because because of her size and everything. I didn't even think of that, to be honest. Yeah, like it was a really great mystery and a really good story. And I loved how, like, showing his reaction to, I mean, he was cured and he was wanting to do everything right. It wasn't like what was the Harley's Holiday that we watched recently, where, she kind of gets sucked back in, even though she's trying to do the right thing, she gets sucked back in really easily. Yeah. Whereas this, like, it showed actual torment that Wesker was going through, and an internal struggle, and yeah, like, he was getting really messed with, emotionally and psychologically and stuff. And I love that turn at the end where, after everything, he still does the right thing. He's got the opportunity he's got Batman dead to rights, essentially. With the machine gun pointing right at him, and, do something, what is it Scarface says, do something right for once in your life, and he turns around and blows the dummy away. Really solid episode. I was really pleasantly surprised with it. Very impressed.
Excellent. So I've said before, Scarface has just never been my favorite. I've never been a huge fan. I've always just felt like he was a little goofy. So he's just never been my favorite Batman villain, and I've never seen anyone do him in a way that makes me like him. Yeah. So he's kind of working at a disadvantage in this episode, because I'm like, oh, Scarface, here we go. But that being said, I still enjoyed it. I think that I liked the idea of Wesker being haunted by his past and just really trying to start fresh, and they just won't let him go. I liked that. I liked that tragic angle to the entire story of he just wants to live in peace, and unfortunately he can't. The past just comes back to haunt him. So I enjoyed that a lot.
And also very dark for a kid's cartoon again. Like, some pretty heavy themes in there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I agree with you that, like, I like the mystery of it, because there is that chase scene where Batman is chasing Scarface on his own. Mm-hmm. It's like something out of a Child's Play movie. And you're like, wait a minute. Like, everything else you can kind of go, oh, it's in his head. He's hearing it. No one else can hear it. He's seeing it, but no one else can see it. He hasn't got a hand up
his ass. What's going on?
I know. So, but as soon as Scarface is running around on his own, you go, wait a minute. There's more going on here than you just assumed that he was going crazy again. And you find out that there's more happening, which I liked that. They find out that there's this hired goon who's a little person, and he was been hired to impersonate Scarface, and so that's who he's chasing it.
Hips or something, because he only comes.
Yeah. Yes.
That made me laugh.
But his voice was famous little person who's done so much over the years, Billy Barty.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. And I also thought it was a really kind of a brilliant story of, like, Scarface's old gang can't do it without him. And so they can't allow the ventriloquist to be cured. And so they're going to take it upon themselves to pull out Scarface again. And I like that Scarface was pissed about that. I like that he was like, oh, you guys, he has a great line where he says something about like, when the muscle thinks it's the brain, it's time to take care of it or something.
Oh, what was that line? Yeah, it was really, really good. It's something about removing the brain, or I can't.
Yeah, it's something like when the muscle starts thinking it's the brain, and then something about destroying it or something. And so I love that. I love that again. It's Batman and Batgirl.
Yes.
In this one, as partners, I think that is really great. I like that you see Bruce Wayne's compassion because he keeps giving Wesker a chance to build the new life. He's on his side, which is really cool. Instead of being paranoid and untrusting of Wesker, he wants to believe the best in him, and he's doing everything he can to help him.
And when you see that scene earlier in the episode too, where Wesker's first confronted by the goons, and then Batman confronts them, and at the end he's like, Wesker is off limits. Yeah,
he's trying to protect him.
Yeah,
which is pretty awesome. It's not, you don't always get to see that side of Batman, and I love it when you do.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think that there's a great moment at the end when Wesker, he's got the gun, Scarface is yelling at him, and he turns and he destroys Scarface, which is great. He's finally allowing himself to be free. I don't know if he ever comes back in this show, so in theory, this could be like Wesker finally does.
I don't think that he does, and I hope that he doesn't, because it was a really good ending.
Right. I agree. The only thing I'll say is Wesker, like a lot of these new Batman Adventure designs, I like how Wesker is like Egghead.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on with that dude's head?
He looks like a thumb.
He's a mess.
Yeah.
Like, see a doctor. I think there's something going on there. Like, there's swelling of the brain.
I didn't want to mention that because it's just like,
we've already said it.
On every episode that I'm on where we review these, I don't want to go, man, I hate the designs. Like,
well, everyone else is fine, but yeah, his egghead is bizarre.
Yeah, really strange.
But anyway, for being a Scarface episode, I still enjoyed it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we give closing thoughts and a letter grade for Double Talk?
I was going with a B+, just because of, like I said before, how surprised I was at how much I enjoyed the episode, and the mystery really hooked me in. And then I thought about it, and I'm actually going to bump it up a point to an A- for the fact that we don't get one, but we get two no-look Michael Keaton backwards Batman punches.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
Twice in the one scene, and I was just like, you know what? That deserves an extra point just for that. So it's an A- for me.
Yeah, that is a great moment.
It's the same guy twice.
Yeah. I just love how immovable Batman's fist is.
Yes. It does.
So,
it straight bang.
Yeah. It's like it is. There is no give there. I love it. For me, it's a good episode. It's not quite a great episode, so I'm at about a B. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I expected to. But yeah, Scarface will just never be my favorite.
I do like how they in the like the animated medium, it's not like he's a pain in the ass character to read with all the G's for B's and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least they don't do that in the animated series.
Double Talk. There you go. An A- and a B. Pretty good episode. Next one up is You Scratch My Back. So that's your homework for the next episode as we continue our journey through the new Batman adventures. But this is going to be won't be super long. Actually, no, it's pretty long. 24. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that's your homework for next time. Now let's check in with you fine people as we crack open the Wayne Manor Mailbox. It's time again for the Wayne Manor Mailbox.
You've got mail.
Darren. What is a letter for me?
Maybe temporary.
She wrote a letter.
Wayne.
All right, first message here is from Ryan Johnson, writer, director of The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I was about to say, wow.
Yeah, I love when he listens to our show. He says, hey, Andy, Jamie, and Brendan. First, I'm officially a patron. I just joined, so thank you for the show. I decided I should stop being a freeloader and contribite.
Well, he's got all that hot Star Wars money, sure.
I mean, that's true. Just the Porg merchandise money should be plenty.
All the stuff that Guy Milks bought.
Yeah. Anyways, a second, thank you for answering my question about a month ago in regards to making the switch to digital comics. I did pick up a few trades that I'd been meaning to get, and I did enjoy the format, but for now, I'm going to stick with paper. Maybe I spend enough time looking at a screen for work. Thanks for answering, though. Third, you've made comments before about not reading No Man's Land, and I actually just finished the original older collected editions. There are 5 volumes, all are about 200 pages, and only contain the specific No Man's Land titles. There are newer collected editions that have 4 volumes containing all the specific No Man's Land titles and tie-ins, and are about 500 pages each.
Those things are huge.
I know. I went with the older editions because that seemed much more manageable, and I feel like I got just as much from the story. Just thought I'd pass the info along. Thanks for all that you do, Ryan from Minneapolis. Ryan, thank you so much for writing. And yeah, I mean, I think that you've made our point about No Man's Land. It's just intimidating. Just reading that, I'm like, man, that just feels like a huge commitment. But I appreciate the options. I know I do have volume 1 of No Man's Land, but I don't know if it's the newer or older. I guess I should look at the page count and that would tell me.
If you think you could kill someone with it, it's the newer one.
Well, it's digital. That's why I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I got it in one of those great Comixology sales for $4.99.
True.
There was a Robin sale a couple weeks ago.
There was.
That was it was awesome. I mean, it was bad, but it was awesome. Yeah. All right, next message here is from Jason Ritter. It says, "Hey Andy."
Just quickly, sorry, before we move on, I was just gonna add to that one. And I know, I'm sure it's been said before, if you are going to read No Man's Land, and even if he has read the comics now, go and read the novel. The novel is fantastic. It's Greg Rucka wrote it. It's my favorite Batman novel of all time, and I've read some really good Batman novels. It is brilliant.
We get it. You read novels.
No. I'm doing a Jeremy Lloyd with Ready Player One. No.
Well, in the book.
Yeah, no, seriously. You need to read the novel. It's so well written. It's fantastic. It's all for No Man's Land, because I've read the comics too. The novel is all you need. Just read the novel. It's great.
Nice. I will not read it. I'll just wait for Gotham season 5 and I'll just count that.
Good for you.
All of my No Man's Land knowledge will come from that, and people will think I'm really cool and well informed. All right, next message here. Jason Ritter. It says, "Hey Andy, Jamie, and Brendan, who I heard is on the run from Darkseid."
Oh.
Apparently Darkseid has moved down under. It says, I was wondering, what do you think of the news of Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy voicing Batman and the Joker in the upcoming DC Lego Supervillains game? Do you think Aquaman might have a hard time at the box office since it's up against Bumblebee, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Alita Battle Angel? Jason, thank you for the message. I didn't know that Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy were going to be voicing Batman and Joker in an upcoming Lego game. Had you heard that, Brendan?
No, because I'm not a Lego fan and I'm not a gamer, so anything that's about Lego games I tend to just ignore.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but what do I think of it? I think it's cool.
Yeah, anytime they do those characters, I mean, I'm going to be all for it, whether it's something I support or not.
I support them both. And then, do I think Aquaman will have a hard time at the box office against Bumblebee, Spider-Verse, and Alita Battle Angel? I do not. I think that Aquaman's success or failure will be based on that movie. I think that all these other things are much tougher sells than Aquaman is at this point. Aquaman it's the first of its kind, and it's a movie for a character that everyone knows that has never had a movie before, and entering a world that we've never really seen on the big screen. I think there's a lot to make it stand out amongst its competition. Bumblebee, I think, looks kind of decent, but it's the spin-off of a franchise that is now about dead.
It's coming up against a lot of ill will.
Yeah. So like the last Transformers cratered at the US box office and did I think did about half of what the previous one did overseas. So
I think Bumblebee's going to need a lot of positive word of mouth.
Yeah, Bumblebee has to be
good.
Yeah, Bumblebee has to be freaking great to get over that Transformers bias by now. Into the Spider-Verse actually looks really cool. But how many Spider-Man movies have we had? I mean, yes, it's animated. Yes, it's different, but it's not like it's one of a kind at this point. And then Alita Battle Angel, I think, has a lot of possibility, but I also think it's a tough sell because it's something that people don't really know yet.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Look up the trailer. I actually like the trailer. It's produced by James Cameron. It was going to be James Cameron's movie for, God, like, he talked about it for like 15 years.
I was going to say, isn't everything?
And Robert Rodriguez is directing it. It looks good, but again, it's kind of it's one of those where it looks a lot like other movies you have seen, and it also doesn't have the strength of a brand name to it.
I was going to say, is it like a live action anime thing? Because it sounds like a title like that. It sounds like an anime show.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd be more worried about Bumblebee, Spider-Verse, and Battle Angel more than I would Aquaman. But but also I'm coming from someone who can't wait to see an Aquaman movie. But
yeah,
the good news is also with the Christmas season, a lot of movies can be successful all at the same time because everybody is off work and off school, and so they go to the movies a lot.
Yeah.
Which is why you see so many stacked big movies on top of each other at Christmas, because people every day for 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year's is treated like a Saturday.
That's pretty true. Like Boxing Day here in Australia, so December 26th, it's always known for being a big movie release day here in Australia. Like you guys have I don't know if it's anymore, but like your 4th of July or your Memorial Day weekend, stuff like that. We don't really have that over here. Boxing Day is sort of what's known as the big movie release day. Sometimes movies will be held here in Australia to get released on Boxing Day. The last couple of I know Frozen was one, The Good Dinosaur, like those kind of films. If they're coming out around that sort of Thanksgiving, Christmas time in the States, they'll often hold them here in Australia. And from what I gather, Aquaman, because you get it on, is it the 23rd?
I think it's the 21st.
Yeah, I think we don't get it till the 26th. I think they're holding it for Boxing Day, which as a fan irritates me. But being that close to Christmas too, I wouldn't be able to get to the movies like I would if it was coming out any other time. And I haven't been excited for a Boxing Day release movie in years. So I'm kind of not too ticked off that that's going to be happening, but it just means I've got to wait that couple of extra days.
Oh, I guess you're not going to be on that Holy BatCast, huh?
Well, if you can wait a little bit.
I can't.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I get it. There's a lot of big movies coming out of Christmas, but there always are. And I think Aquaman has plenty to set it apart. All right, next message here is from Tim Rooney. It says, "Hey, Holy BatCast family, I have an idea for a future episode. A countdown of your favorite crime alley flashbacks or visits by Batman. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this. Have a batastic day, Tim Rooney." Tim, hello. Thank you for the message. I don't know if I have enough for a whole episode.
That's very specific.
It's very specific, exactly. Like, I just don't know if I have enough crime alley visits to fill an hour, but I can think of a couple right off the top of my head that stand out to me. So Brendan, are there any crime alley visits that are your favorites?
See, does this include the murder of the Waynes, or is it him going back to crime alley?
It says favorite crime alley flashbacks or visits.
Okay, well, flashbacks.
So I guess
have to include the parents' deaths.
I guess that would include the deaths. Yeah.
I mean, I obviously with this one, I go straight to the Burton film, like the 1989 film, because you get the the murder and him going back to the alley. But I will give special mention to when Gotham premiered. I remember being really blown away by the murder of the Waynes in that show. I remember it being really quite violent and very dark, and seeing young Bruce react the way that he did was actually quite chilling. That gave me a lot of hope for that show from that pilot episode. Pretty much from that scene, I remember really, really liking it, but I haven't seen it in a long time. That's really the ones that jump out to me. I know there was at least one or two really good ones in the animated series as well, but I can't remember them. They're not as clear in my mind. Yeah,
I definitely agree about Batman 89. Just because to me, I think it's very iconic of seeing Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne in the overcoat and the sunglasses going to Crime Alley, laying down the roses. For me, that's just an iconic moment in that film, and so that would be there. And then the other one is the episode from Batman the Animated Series, which is Appointment in Crime Alley.
And I guess too, actually, I have to mention, I think BVS too, purely because of the score.
Right.
The score that's playing when right at the start of the movie when they show the parents' death, like that's such a good piece of music.
I would agree with you. Next message here is from Jonathan Griffith. It says, "Hey, Andy, Jamie, and Brendan. I just wanted to drop you a quick note to tell you that I love your show. I really enjoyed the Man of Steel commentary episode. It took me back to seeing it opening weekend in 2013. On the way home, my wife spotted a group of 3 turtles about to cross a very busy road. Luckily, we had a plastic tote in the car. We were able to circle back and pick them up before they got to traffic. We then got the turtles to a pond near our home. I like to think we would have done this any day, but being inspired by Superman, we had to do what we could. Anyway, sorry for the long message, and here's hoping that the Justice League Dark live-action series is better than the Swamp Thing live-action series from the 90s. Your loyal listener, Jonathan." Jonathan, thank you for the message, and always help a turtle cross the road. And you helped 3, so that just means that Raphael had already been squashed.
Yeah. I was going to say, little known fact, those turtles did actually become...
You saved them and then laid
three
them in some green ooze.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, well done. Next message here is from CJ Higgins. It says, "Hey, Bat fans, congratulations on 1 million downloads for Holy BatCast. Andy, Jamie, and Brendan are all great, and I like y'all's optimism towards the DC movies, even with the backlash and mixed reviews. You take them as they are and critique what you saw. Thanks for all your hard work, commitment, and effort. Y'all live to your fans and the show. P.S. My favorite Batman movie is The Dark Knight. My favorite Batmobile is the 66 Batmobile, with 89 a close second, probably because they look like actual cars." CJ Higgins. CJ, thank you so much for the message and the congratulations. Yeah, last week we hit 1 million downloads, which was very exciting. It was a little milestone.
Yeah, I knew you, because you don't like tooting your own horn, and you weren't going to bring that up. If it wasn't mentioned, I was going to bring it up in my sign out for the episode. But that was really cool to hear during the week, and a big congrats to you and Jamie, because
Well, and you too.
Yeah, but I mean,
occasionally.
Yeah, but it's you guys started it all, and particularly you. Like, it's your show, it's your baby, and like that's huge. Like, that's a massive achievement. So you should be really proud. And I know the fans. Like I said, I was a fan of this show before I was ever dreamed of being invited onto it, and even then I never thought I'd become as involved as I have. So it's everything after my Red Hood episodes just been gravy for me, and I love being involved. It's a real honor. So you guys deserve the congrats and the props that you're getting. It's great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And mostly it just kind of blows my mind that that many people listen to this thing.
Yeah, right.
So it's pretty awesome. So yeah, it's good to celebrate it, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
But thank you. Next message here is from Brent Ellenberg. It says, "Hey guys, first and foremost, great job on your show as usual. This is my go-to. Just a quick thought while listening to you and Brendan. Am I crazy to think that all the Batman info has been too quiet?" This is, of course, regarding the Batman movie. It says, "They're talking about everything else except this movie. Personally, I think a day is going to come when it's like a bomb drop. I think we'll get slammed at some point with a bunch of info on this Batman movie all at once. It's just been too quiet. Comic-Con maybe? I also want to mention that I personally am done with the Ben as Batman stuff. I've accepted that he will not be Batman, and I'm ready for an official announcement so we can freaking move on. Honestly, I wish Ben would have never started if this was going to happen, which I'm sure it will. It messes up the JL timeline and his presence with the other characters of the DC Universe. Just my thoughts. Great job as usual, and keep up the great work. Brent, thank you so much for the message. And yeah, it is, things did go quiet around the Batman solo film, but I think that's because Matt Reeves wanted to go get his arms around the project and just focus on what the movie was going to be. And while he was doing that, there's not much to report. And I think in this case, no news was good news, because it just means that he's focusing on the work, which is what he should be doing. So as for Ben as Batman, we're with you. We're over it. C'est la vie. Whatever happens is fine. But yeah, I'm tired of the constant back and forth speculation. So no doubt there. Brendan, thoughts on that?
Pretty much everything you said. I think the no news is good news thing, because I'm just, and this covers the whole Ben thing as well. Like, I'm just over all the bullshit speculation and rumors and clickbait, and if Warner Brothers aren't giving us anything official, then there's nothing official for them to give at the moment. And I don't want what's happened in the past with these films, and we've spoken about this, I think the last episode I was on, where they'll throw out a release date, or they'll throw out a director, or they'll give you all this information to, and then it all falls through. So I am happy to wait as long as it takes to get A, concrete information, and B, at the end of the day, a good Batman movie. That's all I want. I don't care about the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Next message here is Jonathan Griffith again. He wrote a retraction. He says, "Hey Andy, I'm sorry. I can't believe I said the wrong thing. I know the DC app will have a Swampthing live action show, not Justice League Dark. My bad. Still hope that it's better than the live action show that was on the USA Network back in the 90s. So yeah, in Jonathan's previous email, he said something about JL Dark, which I did go, huh? But I kind of assumed he meant Swamp Thing. So thanks, yeah. Jonathan. It's all good. Next email is from Brendan Lowe. We'll deal with that later.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Next one here is from Stuart Busire. It says, "Hey, Andy and Jamie, it's Stuart from Guernsey. I was so excited when the trailer for the DC Universe was released online until I read into the more details and noticed that it was just like Brendan feared. It would only be available in the USA. Surely these original shows can't be cheap to make, but they're missing out on a huge amount of income by not realizing it worldwide. It's a shame that anyone outside of your country will have to go to pirate sites just to be able to watch these shows, because we're not going to miss out on seeing them. Do you eventually think they'll make it available in other countries, or will it just be exclusive to the USA? Hope you guys are both doing well, Stuart." Stuart, always a pleasure. And yeah, I think we already covered that. We are with you. It's kind of bullshit, and I hope to God they have a plan to roll it out worldwide, because they're just leaving money on the table. It's silly. Brendan's with you.
You hear that? I'm doing a
Same
thumper.
Page?
Yeah, well, no, I was going to say I'm doing a thumper. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Stuart, I know, dude, that sucks. Anyway, one last one here. It's from Andrew Haskell. It says, "Hey, Holy BatCast family, could Mara be in a relationship with Ocean Master before she's in a relationship with Arthur, since Ocean Master will probably be King of Atlantis in the beginning of the film, and Mara was raised by Queen Atlanna?" I tell you, I haven't given it any thought. Brendan, what do you think about this possibility?
Sounds a bit incestual, doesn't it? Like if she was raised by Atlanna and then there's one brother and the other brother. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I like the idea of that.
Yeah, I would say not. I feel like Mara has better taste than that.
Yeah.
So, maybe not.
It could make things interesting, but...
Yeah, I mean, maybe Mara is suspicious of Orm.
I think there'd be enough tension in this movie without throwing a love triangle in there as well.
Right. I agree. So, is it possible? Sure. I don't necessarily think it will happen. And I'd be okay if it doesn't. I'm not holding my breath for any Orm-Mara love triangle. So there you go. We're closing the Wayne Manor Mailbox. Thank you to everybody who wrote in. As always, we do love hearing from you guys. We love getting your questions. It's always fun. We never know what we're going to get, and we do our best to address them all. So if you've got a question for the Wayne Manor Mailbox, you can send that to Holy BatCast at rf4rm.com. Also, if you haven't already, please do leave us an iTunes review. We always appreciate that. That's another quick, simple thing that you can do to show your support for the show, and it helps get the word out about the show. So please and thank you on that. That's where we're going to wrap up this episode of Holy BatCast. Brendan, as always, a pleasure. Thank you for filling in for our Jamie Drewley.
Anytime he's, off in the wilderness or whatever he's doing, I'm happy to step up to the mic. It's all good.
Good. I'm glad. We just have a very specific time frame when we have to make that happen.
Yeah. Actually, at the moment, it's actually really good with you guys recording Saturday night your time. It's Sunday morning my time, so it means I'm not at work and I can set some time aside to talk Batman.
Thank goodness for that. So yeah, if the folks at home want to keep up with you, where can they do that? You can find me on Twitter at Loey007. Not that there's any new episodes at the moment because scheduling's been a bitch. There was meant to be one this weekend, but you can also find my podcast on Facebook at facebook.com/The Nightlight, or on Twitter at NightlightPod. Nightlight spelt with a K, KNIGHTLIGHT. Awesome.
Yeah,
do that. Awesome. So, yep, check out Brendan wherever you can. Find him wherever. Also, before we completely sign off, I wanted to give you guys a heads up on something new for Holy BatCast. We talked about the Wayne Manor Mailbox. We take the emails, but I've now set up a voicemail for you. So if you want to call in with a message or a question, you can do that, and we can play it on the show. So if you want to do it that way, our new phone number, our voicemail phone number is 323-366-9246. So again, that is 323-366-9246. So if you don't want to send us an email question and you want to call us in, please feel free, and we will play those on the show. But that is where we're going to wrap up this episode of Holy BatCast. Thank you, as always, for downloading the show and for joining us and for being part of our Bat family. We appreciate that. Please do subscribe to the show on iTunes. Please leave us a review on iTunes. And as Michael Keaton's Batman says, I want you to tell all your friends about me. Go to holybatcast.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Holy BatCast. Again, send emails to holybatcast@rf4rm.com, and that'll do it. So on behalf of Brendan and absentee Jamie, I've been your host, Andy DiGenova. We'll see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. This show is a proud part of the Real Fans Podcast Network. You can sample all the shows that are part of the network at rf4rm.com. Those shows include Real Fans for Real Movies, the original show that looks back at films past and present. There's also Holy BatCast, all about Batman and the DC Universe. There's Disorder, every Disney film that looks back at every Disney animated feature in order. There's Taking the Bullet, that looks at bad movies so you don't have to watch them. There's Please Rewind, the RF for RM retro show that looks back at older movies. And finally, there's Grim Grinning Hosts, a salute to all pop culture, but mostly theme parks. Again, you can check out all these shows at rf4rm.com or search for them by name wherever you get your podcasts.
Holy BatCast is brought to you by Real Fans for Real Movies. Remember, the thoughts and opinions shared by the participants are theirs and theirs alone, and do not represent the companies or organizations they happen to work for.
This ain't funny, boss.
No, but it's a laugh riot. You blockheads thought you could impressionate me. You thought you could decide when I was coming out? You could have ruined my plan.
What plan?
I was playing possum, laying low till the heat was off. But then you two numbskulls start up. And when the muscle starts thinking it's the brains, then it's time to amputate.